Namaskar and welcome to this exciting episode of Sattology, debunking mythology. Sattology means science of truth or study of truth. Opposite of that is mythology, which means science or study of fake lie or imagination. And in this series of Sattology, and I got so much of appreciation from all of you and really thank to all of you that we have crossed 3.5 million views on the channel, which is a big achievement for our channel. And in the Western audience, and most of our shows are analytical to some extent. We cannot make it fully analytical because you lose the taste. And so we try our best to select topics and bring topics and bring people who can discuss those topics. And most, believe me, I don't know them all. I'm learning with my guests. So they teach me and I learn it because my study is in just one specific area, that is narration, ancient history. So thank you all for joining. Today I have a very, very special guest, Dr. Aparna Dhir Khandelwal. She has done a lot of research on Samvatsar and Shatpat Brahmana. And many people drop me the name Shatpat Brahmana and I said, I never read it. I'm learning. So you have to be honest. And Yoga Vasishtha also, I never read it. So you ask me about everything, then a couple of books. It's too difficult to read. And you can't even get out of Mahabharata. It's so big. So without delay, let us welcome Dr. Aparna Dhir Khandelwal. Welcome.
Namaste, Aditya ji.
Namaste. So my first question to you is eternal. That's where we're going today. So what does eternal mean to you?
For me, I think which prevails everywhere, which remains everywhere, which is there for you every time. So time is eternal to me.
So that means time is not eternal.
No, time is very much eternal. Time is very much eternal.
Yeah, but from our perception, like if you look at Bhagavad Gita, 5 topics, and Bhagavan says, Kalo Asmi. He says, I am time, I am Kal. So the English word time is relative, but the Kal is eternal, isn't it? Sanskrit word?
Yeah, you can say that. Naturally, because see, we are doing this show in English or Hindi or any other language. So we are using these words as synonyms to each other.
Yes.
But Kal has different perception, different definition. Then time has different definition, different perception. And we should very much see to this that time is a word which is there from the English. It has English origin or physics origin. Kal word is a Sanskrit origin or Hindi origin. We have to check that for the etymological reasons and to define it in a better way.
Yeah, because everyone wants to become eternal, but they don't want to engage in activities that make them eternal, isn't it?
You can say that, but everybody is trying their level best to have themselves as an eternal entity.
Yeah, true. Like in Gita, it said, Anityam Asukham Lokam. So very clearly it is said, Ashashvatam. Like this is not a permanent. Ashashvatam is not eternal. This existence is not eternal. But it also says, Anityam Asukham Lokam. It is not eternal. It is not full of happiness. And it is loka. Loka means it's physical. It's a residence over there. What did you say?
See, Aditya, like you always say, you always define your channel like debunking mythology is Sattology. So opposite to that, you always use this word. So similarly, a Shashvatam, opposite to that is Shashvatam.
Shashvatam, that's right.
Yeah. Anityam, opposite to that is Nityam. So in that sense, we can understand the definition of eternity.
That's right. So one last question before you start the presentation. So when we talk about Samvatsar, which is a attribute of Kala, right? It's just an attribute of Kala. Kal can be very big superset, but Samvatsar can be a subset. Am I right in saying that or no?
Yeah, you can say that because as per Shatpat Brahman, Shatpat Brahman, they haven't used the word Kal. They have used the word Samvatsar to define the biggest unit of Kal. As I said earlier in my previous talks also, that for them there is a word Samvatsar that is a biggest of all. They haven't used the word Kal. That is again a big point you have mentioned, you have highlighted here from your question. Like Kal word is missing in the Shatputram.
It's very surprising, isn't it? Because
Yeah, because
I browsed through the entire Shatpat Brahmana for the
yeah.
Kal. I couldn't find it.
Even I never thought of this. I have my studies over this subject, but I never thought of this because I'm studying Kal as per the units of time,
That's
not
right.
as a word Kal. So
Yeah.
as you started your this talk, like what is Kal and what is time, or differentiate between them, because this is a surprising for me, like how to define this word, because we are talking about Samvatsar and other units. We're going to talk about another units, but Kal is not there in Shatabrahman. So but it is there in Atharved,
Atharvaved.
like I mentioned in my previous talk.
Absolutely. Ved has many references. Purans have many references. But Shatpat Brahmana, I was shocked because after I spoke to you yesterday 10:30 in the night, and then I went to my library and I have Shatpat Brahmana in my library. And I browsed through the entire book. I couldn't find Kal. And I said, am I wrong? Am I right? Or what is happening here? Because Kalo Asmi, Krishna says in very clearly, Kalo Asmi, I am the Kal. But I couldn't find complete absence of that. I was a little bit shocked over there. Therefore, I said, I have not read Shatpat Brahmana because it's maybe there are many things in that book which we do not know or which are not in the Puran also. Anyway.
But this is a good question. This, I mean, you have also a good question, very good question. That how Kal is I mean, why Vedic Rishi has left out the word Kal? Why they have discussed only the few units of time, and they are starting with the biggest unit, but they are not mentioning Kal. So maybe Kal is something else, or everything, every unit of time is comprising of Kal. I mean, they are मतलब उसी के अंदर जा रहा है सब कुछ, उसी को बना रहा है. तभी श्री कृष्ण ने सिर्फ अपने आप को काल कहा, उन्होंने बाकी यूनिट्स की बात नहीं की.
And Shivji is one of the name of Shivji is Mahakal.
Mahakal, exactly.
It's so interesting because Krishna says I'm Kal, Kalo Asmi, I'm Kal. And Shivji says I'm Mahakal. He referred to as Mahakal, he never said himself. There are 11 names of Rudra, and we'll discuss some other time. But this Mahakal is not one of the 11 names of Rudra. So it's still actually it is one of the 11 names of Rudra. Let me check here. Okay, and later on I can do that.
See,
Anyway,
Mahakal is actually I don't think so 11 names. It is like 11 names of Rudra, because Mahakal, जब हम ज्योतिर्लिंग की बात करते हैं तब हम महाकाल का नाम उसमें लेते हैं, क्योंकि जब हम ज्योतिर्लिंग का नाम ले रहे हैं तब हम शिव, शंभु, शंकर ये सब नाम नहीं ले रहे उसमें ज्योतिर्लिंग. तो महाकाल तो ज्योतिर्लिंग के लिए आ रहा है और वो शिव जी को डिफाइन कर रहे हैं. वो अलग बात हो सकती है कि महाकाल और like 11 Rudra के नेम है, ये भी एक अच्छा टॉपिक है. तो when we are going to discuss sometime in our next talk या in our later on talks की what about Rudra, then we can very much think about these topics.
Yes. So we can get started with the presentation, and the presentation will be on Samvatsara is eternal. Beautiful word. And we are comparing with the Kal, but so it's Kal is out of the question right now. We're only talking about Samvatsara. So
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we can get started.
Yes. Thank you. So like our previous talk, let me share my screen first.
Yeah, we can see that now.
Yeah, thank you. So today I'm going to talk about Samvatsar is eternal. Hope you all have gone through my previous talks, my previous 3 parts, where I have discussed few things which I want to give a brief summary about it. Like I have started with the word Samvatsar, what it stands for. It stands for the time, which is year, which is an year. And it is the biggest unit. We are mainly focusing on the Shatpat Brahman, that is the Shukla Yajurved Brahman. That is, or you can say the explanation of White Yajurveda is in the form of a Brahmanical or the ritualistic text is known as Shatpat Brahman. So we are focusing mainly on that. Or side by side, we are comparing it with other Yajurvedic text. So I am basically talking about the Samvatsar, and in the part 1, I have talked about the what is Samvatsar, how it is connected to our life. It is actually a biggest time unit as discussed by the Shatagraman, which is related to, which talks about the year time and how this year um, can be defined. It is defined in a form of a sun. It is defined in a form of a moon. It is defined it as Ayu, your age. It is defined something like a period which is one cycle of sun. These all I have discussed in my part one slide, part one talk. And then I have compared this Samvatsar in our later, like this is what we have, this was, we talk about in the Vedic period. Then we come to the Vedang period, in where we have Samvatsar in the form of Panch Samvatsaratmak Yuga, where we have different names, and these names came from the Yajurvediya text only, in which we have discussed Idvatsar, Idavatsar, Anuvatsar, Udvatsar, Anuvatsar. These are the 5 names which is given by Vedic text, especially that too by the Yajurvediya text, and later on comprising of all these 5 years is known as Panch Samvatsaratmak Yug in the Vedang period. Then moving ahead to the later Vedang period, that is a post-Vedic period or later Vedang period. Then there we have discussed about various types of years, which is also known as Samvatsar, but their category it is the here in Vedang period, in later Vedang period, Samvatsar is categorized in various names like sidereal year, tropical year, solar year, then Chandra year, then we have Divya Varsh, then Ayung Varsh, and all these years have different specific number of days and everything, which can again be translated into Vedic period, which can easily be viewed. That means जो भी वैदिक पीरियड में स्टार्ट हो गई थी बातें, उन्हीं वर्णन को आगे वेदांग और लेटर वेदांग पीरियड में डिस्कस किया गया. ओनली उनके नेम्स बदले हैं, बाकी अदरवाइज the concept remain the same. So in one of my talk I have discussed that these Samvatsar, the period of Samvatsar or a year is comprises of 360 days. So 360 days were the total number of days which was there in the Samvatsar period. And this Samvatsar is, you can say it is lunisolar. This all I have already explained. So today we are talking about the how, like we were discussing in our talk and the starting of this talk, that Chakrabraman is not talking about the Kal. So the Aditya ji just said, forget about the Kal. Why we have forget about the Kal? Because for Shatagraman, for the Rishi of Shatagraman, Samvatsar is the biggest unit, and for them, Samvatsar is eternal. Samvatsar is everything. Why Samvatsar is everything and how? This I am going to show through this slide, through this presentation. Wait a minute. So, see what we have learned in our all the previous parts, on all three parts of my presentation regarding Samvatsar. Why we are learning that? What is the main objective? The objective of studying all this thing, first to let you know that the time, the study we are having about time in the present era has started from the Vedic period itself. And Shatagraman is the major example of this thing, that जो भी आज हम टाइम के विषय में पढ़ रहे हैं या संवत्सर के विषय में पढ़ रहे हैं, whatever knowledge we have regarding the year factor, everything was very well concepted in the Shatagraman, in the period of the Shatagraman, in the period of the Yajurveda. So this is how we can prove how this Indian knowledge is so ancient, and how we can what we are finding, what we are having, that knowledge was actually from the that knowledge was actually originated in the Indian scriptures. So this is the main objective. But this is not only the objective, not only the single objective. The other objective is to understand the cosmic order and the cosmic yagya. We always talk about this. These words are very much popular in philosophy these days. That जो भी कुछ हमारे सामने, दैट इज कॉस्मिक ऑर्डर. जो भी सब कुछ चल रहा है, विच वट एवर ऑर्डर वी आर फॉलोइंग, कॉस्मिक ऑर्डर है, एक ऑर्डर बना हुआ है. सेकेंडली, दूसरी चीज जो, अगर हम इफ वी टॉक अबाउट आवर वैदिक लिटरेचर, तो हमें कॉस्मिक यज्ञ के बारे में पता चलता है. वट एवर वी आर सीइंग around us in our surroundings is just nothing but a cosmic yagya is going on. So this is the objective of this presentation, how we can relate, how we can understand this particular thing which is in trend these days in various sciences, either in physics or in philosophy, but the concept is again coming from the Yajurved, and that too from the Shatpath. Or you can say the Tetri Brahman is also. Tetri Brahman is nothing but a Brahmanical text of the Black Yajurveda, or you can say the Krishna Yajurveda. So this is the main objective of this presentation. Now, we have already discussed this particular slide in our previous talk, where I have talked about that in Shatpat Brahman, it is very much discovered and narrated that once 1 year is equal and is comprises of 6 seasons, 12 months, 24 ardhamas or half months or fortnights, 12 full moons, 12 eighth days, 12 no moons, and 720 day and night. That is 360 days, 360 nights equivalent to 720 ahoratra. This I have already discussed in my last talk, that is part 3rd of Samvatsar. You can see now. So when Samvatsar is full of all these time units, so we can say, we have examples from the Shatpat Brahman which says like Ritavaha Samvatsaraha. Ritu kuch aur nahi, वो अपने आप में संवत्सर है. Now what is this? Why I am focusing on this? See, each and every time unit, first of all, it is creating the samvatsar, and also it is itself a samvatsar. मतलब कि जो ऋतु है वो संवत्सर बना भी रही है, इसीलिए कहा जा रहा है 6 ऋतुओं से एक संवत्सर बना है. और फिर उसके बाद उसको एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए बाद में कहा है कि अगर ऋतुएं ना होती तो संवत्सर भी नहीं होता, तो इसीलिए ऋतुएं ही संवत्सर है. सो वी हैव द कोड ऋतुवः संवत्सरः. ऋतु ही, सीजन्स ही संवत्सर है. Seasons is nothing but year itself. So this is not a case in case of a single season. This is in a case of like, अगर 5 ऋतु है, if we consider 5 seasons, if we consider 3 seasons, if we consider 7 seasons, in all the cases, like यहाँ पर जैसे लिखा है ऋतवः संवत्सर, वहां लिखा होगा पंच ऋतवः संवत्सरः. षड ऋतवः, like in the second line you can see षड ऋतवः संवत्सरः, सप्त ऋतवः संवत्सरः. So this is how त्रय ऋतवः संवत्सरः. So each and every season is equivalent to संवत्सर itself. Similarly, in case of 12 months, it is said द्वादश मासः संवत्सरः. संवत्सर के अंदर जो है 12 मंथ्स हैं, और ये 12 के 12 महीने जो है वो भी अपने आप में ईयर है. ये उस बात को एक, मैं समझती हूँ कि जैसे किसी चीज को फोकस करने के लिए, किसी पे बल देने के लिए, टू मेक इट मोर इम्पैक्टफुल, वन हैज टू से इट अगेन एंड अगेन. सिमिलरली यहाँ पर उसी चीज को उस तरह से बताया गया कि एक संवत्सर में 12 महीने होते हैं, और ये 12 महीने कुछ और नहीं संवत्सर है. देन वी हैव चतुर्विंशः संवत्सर. चतुर्विंशः अर्धमासो वै संवत्सरः. Similarly, the same concept is here. Chaturvimsh means, Chatur means 4, then Vimsh means 20. 24 fortnights is will create a time that is called an year. Then we have 12 full moons, like I said. Again, then we have another quotation which says Ahoratre vai samvatsarah. अहोरात्र भी संवत्सर है. जो अहोरात्र, जो डे एंड नाइट है, वही अपने आप में संवत्सर है. तो दिस इज हाउ ईच एंड एवरी टाइम यूनिट जो है इट गोज अप टू दी संवत्सर. उसके कारण ही संवत्सर बन रहा है, उसके कारण ही ईयर बन रहा है, और वो अपने आप में भी संवत्सर, मतलब वो उसके फीचर्स को लिए हुए है. एंड ऑल दिस ईयर टाइम depends on constellations, which I have already explained in my third talk. Now, again, there is another thing, that all these time units are governed by the principles, by the movements of sun and moon. So sun and moon is nothing but Samvatsar itself, year itself. That is written here like Chandrama Vai Samvatsaraha. Chandra bhi jo hai, so the moon is also is like a year. So moon ko hi year मान लिया गया. Similarly, सा या सह संवत्सरो सा असो आदित्य. ये जो संवत्सर है वही आदित्य है. आदित्य is nothing but sun. Sun is nothing but time, and time is nothing but samvatsar. This is all explained. This whole idea is given by the Shatad Brahman, or you can say in the Yajurvedic text, where it is clearly mentioned how you can define the time, or you can say the biggest unit of time, that is the samvatsar, that is the year, and that comprises of all these smaller time units. So we can relate this as this. We can understand this concept like this. Then moving ahead. First of all, we here I'm not talking about the creation principle of universe. I'm just talking about the time principle, and or that too in the context of the Samvatsar. So I'm just giving an idea from where the time comes from, why I'm using the word eternal. Because when we talk about the creation of the universe, we know certain principles, certain elements were there even in the beginning of the universe. And that every sciences has different explanations regarding that, regarding the creation principles. I'm not discussing all those principles. I'm just giving a narration of it, that it has started as per the Vedas. You can see on my screen that I have given the text from the Rigvedian Asida Sutra, that again mentioned in the Tetriya Brahman. Like जो ये आपके सामने लिखा हुआ है, ना सद आसीनो सद आसीत इदानिम ना सद रजहो नो व्योमा पर यथ. जो भी ये आपके सामने ये कोटेशन आया है, ये नासदीय सूक्त है, ऋग्वेदीय 10th चैप्टर का 129 सूक्त है. एंड इसके अंदर जो बात की गई है, दैट एक्सप्लेनेशन गोज अगेन इन द तैत्तिरीय ब्राह्मण. यू कैन फाइंड इन द with better explanation, because Brahmanas are the explanation of the Vedic hymns only. So in the Rigvediya Nasadiyat Suk, it is like a hymn, it is like a mantra, but its actual explanation you can find in the Taittiriya Brahman, that too in the second kand of Taittiriya Brahman. In the second chapter, you can say, where this creation principle has been explained, in which it is said, then prior to the creation, there were three gunas, there were Panchamahabhutas or Vyom, and there was neither death nor immorality was present. What was present? Only the darkness. This was explained in the Nasadiya Sutra. But we are not discussing here the creation principle, so we are leaving this aside. We are moving to the Shatad Brahman explanation, where it is said कि starting में only there was only apah. Apah is water. In general, you can understand that. We are not explaining the word apah here, but we can say that from the Taittiriya Brahman, we have the text, we have the word darkness, and from the Shatad Brahman, we have the word apah. So darkness was there, then apah was there. That means अंधेरा था और जल था. दो चीजें हमें याद रखनी है. Then what happened? जो जल था, the apah desired to reproduce. उसने देखा कि कुछ उसने then we जो अकेला था जल और उसमें कुछ friction सा हुआ, and because of that friction a golden egg was produced in a time of the year, and that वो जो golden egg से हम कह सकते हैं जो टाइम में एक हमारे सामने एक पिंड आता है, दैट इज अ प्रजापति वॉज प्रोड्यूस्ड. सो ये क्यों हुआ? उसके बाद प्रजापति ने आगे डिजायर किया, एंड देन वी हैव द फुल एक्सपेंशन ऑफ द यूनिवर्स. दिस इज जस्ट एन आइडिया. This is, I'm not giving here the detail or the explanation of this, because just to give you the hint of what we have in our Vedic text, and that too in the very ancient Vedic text. So we have our ancient Vedic text talk about the process, which says that there was darkness, there was apah, then it was the time which was present there, and then because of the desire, creation of universe take place. So our main focus is on the time. So time was there from the primordial state of universe. This should be understood. So, as I said, that in a year's time, a man was produced, that its name was Prajapati. So Prajapati is nothing but a creator himself, And again, I'm not explaining the Prajapati concept here, but just to give you an idea that Prajapati is nothing but a creator himself who was there at the time of the beginning, who actually reproduced from the waters or the darkness, and then in a year time, जो वो ईयर का टाइम था उस ईयर में जाके वो बना था. सो प्रजापति में प्रजापति was a creator, and it was the Prajapati only. It was that Lord. Prajapati is nothing but a lord of generation. Productivity is the synonym of प्रजापति. जो प्रजापति है उनका प्रायवाची के रूप में प्रजनन को हम ले सकते हैं, क्योंकि उसका दैट इज जो क्रिएशन करना है वो प्रजापति का अपना एक बिगेस्ट फीचर है, कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है. तो दिस वे वी कैन एक्सप्लेन कि प्रजापति इज द क्रिएटर. दैट very much explained through various creation legends found in the Yajurveda and mainly in the Shatva Brahman and in the Taittiriya Brahman. We have lots of explanation regarding how we can say that Prajapati is the creator of this whole universe. That is a different topic. Here I am explaining in the context of the time. So time was there at the present, at the beginning of the universe. Now, this Prajapati actually wants to expand and have his children, or you can say wants to have the expansion of the universe. So it keeps on toiling and did lots of penance, and then only the expansion of universe takes place. This all is explained in various creation legends, as I said. Now this जो ये सारा process है वो time में हो रहा है. This is explained by the creation legends only. So at many places it is said Samvatsar is nothing but Prajapati itself. Samvatsar ही creator है. इसीलिए कहा गया संवत्सरो वही प्रजापति. प्रजापति is nothing but संवत्सर. Because अब आप वही इसको हम इस तरह भी समझ सकते हैं, अगर कोई टाइम ही ना हो हमारे आसपास तो क्रिएट क्या हो रहा है, हम उसको कैसे मेजर कर पाएंगे. So this is how we can say that creation in the sense of time takes place. You can understand this like this. So Samvatsar is nothing but a Prajapati itself. This is explained by Shatva Brahman or the Taittiriya Brahman. And again they are explaining this like Prajapati hi Samvatsaraha. Again there is a fact, there is a statement that says कि Prajapati is nothing but Samvatsar, is nothing but a time. Creator is nothing but a time. Then again it is said in Taittiriya Brahman Samvatsaraha Prajapati. संवत्सर कुछ और नहीं है, प्रजापति है. तो अगेन एंड अगेन दे आर फोकसिंग ऑन दिस. अब संवत्सर को क्यों प्रजापति माना है उसके लिए शतपथ ब्राह्मण कह रहे हैं संवत्सरः प्रजापति ही सह प्रजन्यता. संवत्सर प्रजापति है क्योंकि वो प्रजनन करता है, क्योंकि वो क्रिएशन करता है. किसकी क्रिएशन करता है? अगेन क्वेश्चन अराइजेस बिकॉज वो क्रिएट करता है. एक तो हमारे आसपास जो संसार है वो दिख रहा है, अदरवाइज अदर टाइम यूनिट्स की, क्योंकि उससे उस सारे टाइम यूनिट्स उसमें हैं और उसी से सारे निकल भी रहे हैं. तो ये एक दूसरे से जुड़े हुए हैं, इंटर रिलेटेड है. इसीलिए जो सन है आदित्य वही प्रजा, आदित्य को प्रजा भी कह दिया गया एक स्थान पर. तैत्तिरीय ब्राह्मण में देयर इज अ रेफरेंस, इट सेज आदित्य वही प्रजा, सन भी प्रजा है. क्यों सन प्रजा है? आज भी हम अगर इसको अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश करें तो सन इज नथिंग बट द क्रिएटर हिमसेल्फ. सन इज अ टाइम लाइक वी वर डिस्कसिंग, लाइक इट सन इज नथिंग बट अ महाकाल इटसेल्फ. वो बहुत सभी कालों में सबसे बड़े हैं और साथ ही उन्हीं की वजह से सारा संसार भी दिख रहा है, सारा क्रिएशन भी हो रहा है, वेदर इन ऑल लिविंग बीइंग्स यू कैन से दैट. नाउ ये जो आदित्य है वो कोई और नहीं है. Then we have another text. I'm not giving all of my references here because then the slide will look like more clumsy. Because आदित्य को यहाँ पर एक जगह कह दिया आदित्य is nothing but प्रजा. Then in another sentence it is written as आदित्य is nothing but संवत्सर. तो आदित्य प्रजा भी है, आदित्य संवत्सर भी है, आदित्य प्रजापति भी है. This is how this whole concept arises. Then we have another thing regarding the moon. प्रजापति वही चंद्रमा. जो चंद्रमा है वो कुछ और नहीं, वो प्रजापति है. सो दिस इज हाउ वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड. चंद्रमा प्रजापति भी है, चंद्रमा संवत्सर भी है. सो आदित्य भी संवत्सर है. और इसी तरह अगर हम इसको और एक्सप्लेन करना चाहें इन लेटर टाइम यूनिट्स, देन वी कैन आल्सो से लाइक असौ सा आदित्य ऋतु. ये जो ऋतु है वो कोई और नहीं, वो भी आदित्य है, वो भी सन है। सिमिलरली आदित्य व सर्वह ऋतु, आदित्य ही, सन जो है वही ऋतु भी है, सभी ऋतु है। तो इस तरह से ऑल टाइम यूनिट्स बिगिन विद मून एंड सन, begin with the movements of sun and moon. This is the concept, this is the idea. Then all time units जो है वो जाकर संवत्सर में मिल रहे हैं. They are, all time units are going towards the biggest unit, that is the Samvatsar. And Samvatsar is nothing but the Prajapati, and Prajapati is nothing but the creator. So this is how we can derive, we can say that Sarvam Vai Samvatsar, जो कुछ है इस संवत्सर है. जो भी कुछ हम देख पा रहे हैं, जो भी कुछ टाइम यूनिट्स हैं, जो भी कुछ हम क्रिएशन देख पा रहे हैं, हमारे आसपास देख पा रहे हैं, सब कुछ काल है, सब कुछ संवत्सर है. हम इसे काल इसलिए मैंने बोला क्योंकि यहाँ पर हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ा यूनिट यही है शतपथ के अकॉर्डिंग. तो सर्वम वही संवत्सर. और इसीलिए हमारे पास एक आगे और कोटेशन आता है आदित्य के लिए, वो ये कहते हैं सर्वम वही आदित्य. ये सब कुछ जो भी कुछ आप देख रहे हैं वो संवत्सर भी है, वो सब आदित्य भी है. तो इस तरह से जितने जितने हमारे टाइम यूनिट्स हैं और टाइम के गवर्निंग प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, एवरीथिंग इज रिलेटेड टू संवत्सर and Samvatsar is related to Prajapati. So we can derive this whole idea of the Shatpat Brahman as this statement, like all units of time give us a thing called Samvatsar, and Samvatsar is nothing but a Prajapati. Prajapati is nothing but a lord of creator, lord of creation, or we can say creator himself, and that creation is nothing but Sarvam, that is the everything which is universal and which is we are seeing everywhere. And also this whole idea, we can say that whatever we are seeing, like Sarvam is nothing but whatever extension of this or expansion of this universe we are seeing, all because of the time units, that is, and that itself is Samvatsar, which we have explained in our first slide. So now we have two concepts, Prajapati and time. Like I said, Prajapati and Samvatsar. So क्या कोई रिलेशन है? Is there any relation in between them? अगर हमने जितना अभी स्टडी किया as per our study through Shatpat Brahman, so is there any relation? क्योंकि हम कह सकते हैं कि टाइम इज अ वेल नोन नेचुरल फिनोमिना जो हमारे सामने हो रहा है, विच वी कैन नॉट इग्नोर, वो हर तरफ है. एंड सिमिलरली व्हाट वी हैव स्टडीड थ्रू द यजुर्वेदीय टेक्स्ट, we can very well understand this whole idea as cosmic order and cosmic yagya. Cosmic order I said because जितना हमने टाइम यूनिट्स देख रहे हैं, जो हमारे सामने एक ऑर्डर बना हुआ है, वट एवर वी आर order we have from day and night, then from the fortnight, then full moons, new moons, then months, then season. This order, जो ये ऑर्डर आ रहा है, दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द संवत्सर. एंड संवत्सर जो है वो यज्ञ है. कैसे यज्ञ है? क्योंकि सारे टाइम यूनिट्स अपनी अपनी आहुति एक तरह से दे रहे हैं, अपने आप को छोड़ रहे हैं. जब व्हेन मंथ अपने आप को छोड़ेगा, अपनी आइडेंटिटी छोड़ता है, तभी वो ऋतु बनेगा ना. क्योंकि अभी हम आगे पढ़ेंगे कि हाउ दिस सीजन, हाउ वी हैव द आइडिया ऑफ दिस सीजन. सो अगर हम मंथ पर ही बैठे रहे, नहीं, पॉसिबल नहीं. टू गो टू द थिंग आइडिया ऑफ सीजन, वी हैव टू लीव द आइडिया ऑफ मंथ. तो जब हम मंथ से सीजन की ओर जा रहे हैं, तो एक तरह से मंथ की आहुति हो रही है, यज्ञ हो रहा है. वो अपने आप को उसके अंदर हम कह सकते हैं कि वो अपनी उसके अंदर अपने आप को डेडिकेट कर रहा है, अपने आप को सेक्रीफाइस कर रहा है. देन ओनली वी हैव द आइडिया ऑफ सीजन. सिमिलरली है कि कॉस्मिक यज्ञ चल रहा है, हर कोई अपना अपनी आइडेंटिटी छोड़कर त्याग भाव से सेक्रीफाइस करके आगे बढ़ रहा है. तो ये जो कॉस्मिक यज्ञ है, दैट इज ओनली दैट गिव्स अस द आइडिया ऑफ कॉस्मिक ऑर्डर. एंड दिस whole idea explained in the form of Prajapati and Samvatsar in the Yajurvedic text. That's why it is said in Shatpat Brahman, Samvatsaro Yagya. Samvatsar का यज्ञ, संवत्सर ही यज्ञ है. यज्ञो यत प्रजापति, और ये जो यज्ञ है वही प्रजापति है. So this is how we can understand this whole idea of this cosmic yagya taking place in front of us, and which is very beautifully explained by our Vedic Rishi in Yajurvedic text, mainly in the Shatpat Brahman and in the Tetriya Brahman in the form of Prajapati and Samvatsar. Thank you for this listening to this talk. Yeah.
So one question comes in beautiful presentation, and I think you clarified everything where what Shatpat Brahmana refers to as the Samvatsar. Now, one question comes in the Shatpat Brahmana. You know, we all discussed the origin also, Yagyavalka and other things we discussed in the past. And so, is the Surya Siddhanta, is it based on, because Surya Siddhanta also refers to Samvatsar extensively. And again, the word Kal is not discussed over there. I saw many shloka, but if the audience knows that is Kal is discussed there, then please let me know. And so, is the Samvatsar is a basic unit of time or a biggest unit of time or a smallest unit of time
Where in Chaturbrahman or in the Surya Siddhanta?
in your study?
No, it is the biggest unit of time.
Biggest
It's
unit.
everything.
Okay.
That's why it says Samvatsaro Vai Sarvam.
So Vai Sarva. And what is the smallest unit of time then?
We have Muhurt, Shudra Muhurt also. Shudra Muhurt is जो सबसे छोटा, मतलब कि एक जो आपके दिन में जो जितने मुहूर्त हैं उसमें भी जो आपने टाइम 48 मिनट्स का एक मुहूर्त होता है उसमें भी आगे उन्होंने क्लासिफिकेशन किया है. So we have very much in detail calculation of, or you can say measurement of time units there in the खास तौर पे in the Tetri Brahman. This whole idea is from Tetri Brahman. That is the mood concept is from the Tetri Brahman.
So when we Tatitriya Upanishad, right? Tatitriya Upanishad, which is Yajnavalkya threw them out, and then okay, so there is a so the smallest unit is like when we say Anu, Parmanu, Trisarenu, and then the movement of those is referred to as Chana, Pala, Muhurta, like Nimesh, like Bhagwan Ram killed 14,000 Rakshas in 2 Muhurta, 2 Ghadi, do Ghadi. So one Ghadi was told to be 24 minutes and do Ghadi is 48 minutes. So like no modern machine gun can do that, no modern weapon can do that, no missile can do that, no nuclear missile can do that. It's like by hand he's doing it. So thank you so much, Dr. Aparna Dhir ji, and for all the viewers who are watching this presentation, do refer to the other presentations also on Samvatsar on the same channel, and we'll make a playlist for her so that you can see all her videos in one place so that you can share and you can see all of them in series. And thank you for coming today at short notice, and thank you for all the viewers who are watching at short notice. And all the viewers, I see more than 900 people are right now live. And thank you all, and namaste. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Aditya ji. Thank you.